it's a great feeling like last year. Last year, of course, we had a much bigger dimension of the conference, and we decided we will have the scientific international level every alternate year. So it's a really very happy situation where so many participants are coming forward. And this year we also tried this new model where we have a workshop for beginners preceding the conference and a workshop for the advanced practitioners and yoga teachers post-conference. And it's a very happy situation that we have good registrations for both workshops as well. And looking at the feedback that we already have, the applause, and during our breaks, the feedback that we are getting from participants, also the participation of the Apollo University of Technology, of Apollo City. There is, I think, today a great awareness. I think the International Day of Yoga has also added another dimension. So therefore, I think the initiative that was taken by Sulisław Palace, the Institute of Yoga and Ayurveda of Sulisław, it is giving very good results. Personally speaking, I'm very happy with the outcome of the conference. It is a very good initiative again that we are starting now. Postgraduate diploma course, 1-year course, and it is part-time course, so anybody can register for it. And interesting thing is our course is a practical course. It is not a theoretical course. So present times, the kind of lifestyles people are following, whether they are students or business people or household people, just maybe a person who stays at home or the elderly people, how do they ensure that they are physically healthy, mentally quite alert, and spiritually very happy? They are enjoying what we call the holistic health. So this particular diploma course that we have designed over alternate weekends, it will be residential here in the Palace, and the whole day programs. So I think they will be able to understand the basic fundamentals of health. How is human body, working? The working of the human body is also a business. In fact, it's a bigger business. So therefore, this course actually educates people how can we maintain health of the body without having to depend on medicines, what we call preventive, not preventive health, but we should say prevent diseases, and so that you don't need to be dependent on medicines. So the whole idea of this PG diploma course is to give people very simple techniques of exercising their body, of regulating their breathing processes, of ensuring that there is free blood circulation in the body, ensuring that their blood quality is good, and then this flow of energy in the body, what we call the prana in the body, and then how the consciousness of the body is managing body's health. So all these dimensions are going to be included in this postgraduate diploma course. And the beauty is here we are also inviting people from the business and industry, especially the Apollo University of Technology, their economy department and some of their other departments, their physiotherapy department, they are going to be involved. And in the process, I believe the students, here when we say students, it's not just the young students, but here we are saying anybody and everybody who is registering for this program, they will be able to get great benefits out of it. As we saw, like in our pre-conference workshop, we had nearly, I think, 25 people who registered, and the kind of feedback they have given, many of them did not know what was going on with them, And in 4 days, they had such clarity. And in fact, that clarity itself took away all their problems, and they all were feeling so good, so, renewed energy. Just as I was coming here, a lady told me now she has such clarity about her future programs, which she didn't have before she came here, because she had just learned how things happen within the body. So therefore, this PG diploma course is a very beautifully designed course. And I'm happy that we have taken inputs from so many different departments. So we are not looking it merely from yoga and Ayurveda point of view. We are also looking from the wider point of view, from modern medicine point of view. And also we have studied the needs of businesses, of people. So we are confident that this will be a very successful program, and I'm sure soon it may spread to all over Poland, even Europe. We may take it back to India, to our own, universities and to our own corporate world. You see, in our conference, we had this one lecture by Professor Fortis, and he's the Dean of Economic Department Studies in the university. And I was amazed what he had to show, how today the business managements are run. He talked about organization, he talked about processes, he talked about management, and he talked about holistic health of the business. So we today talk of holistic health of the business, that how can you maintain your business going? How can you ensure that you would not have crunches, like HR, your human resource, you are having problems, or you are marketing, you are not able to market your product. How are you keeping pace with processes that manufacture your product and all these? Now, same thing is actually in body management. This body is a very organized system. It's just that we are unaware about it. So if we can give to people the understanding how the body is organized, how does breathing help, how does eating help, how does drinking water, when to drink, how much to drink, and especially the breathing processes, because our lifestyles these days are so comfort-oriented that the breathing level has gone down drastically. And this is resulting in multiple, dysfunctions within the body. So both the physical postures and the breathing disturbance. So by correcting these, and also by using the Ayurveda principles of how to eat, how much to eat, how can you ensure good sleep, and then, how are we related with nature, with the climates. In India, for example, we have different seasons, the cold season, the hot season, and so on. So how do all these things happen? Why do we want to eat in the morning and not in the afternoon? Things like that. So Ayurveda has a lot of knowledge about it, because human body is part of nature. I always say this body is not manufactured in a factory. It's nature's gift, and it's constantly being maintained by the food that we eat and the water that we drink and the air that we breathe. So the yoga and Ayurveda principles help us understand the business of body and body health. And every business needs it. Like Professor Fortis was mentioning, that we not only need the individual health, we also need the team health. So in an organization, in a business where you have these days even employees in thousands, and hundreds is very common. So there, how can you perform as a team? And the yoga practice is such a good way of understanding who am I and how can I be in union with anything and everything around me. So this knowledge is not just doing some yoga asanas as people generally think as a physical exercise. It's a much deeper understanding of individual personality. If some person is egoistic, why the person is egoistic? If some person is so humble, why he or she is so humble? If someone is so good to, network with anybody and everybody, and other person keeps himself, herself away. So these are all things, the emotional level, the spiritual level, the social level, these are all parts of yogic practices. Even this morning, Dr. Pratap Chauhan was talking how Ayurveda also, the food also actually affects our personality. What kind of food we are eating, it helps in our behavioral aspects. So if we can give these skills to people, then they can actually train their own personalities depending on their work that they are performing. So in modern times, it has become an essential requirement that how will you maintain your personal health. For example, in the IT sector, where people are just glued to a computer all the time looking at the screen, and all interaction is with the screen. They are all the time in virtual space. So and this is the situation of our younger generation. So that is why our, one major objective of our institute and this PG diploma course is also that can we, through this, come out with another, program which is good for schools, for younger, students in their teens, because these days our younger generation seems to think that technology is everything. Yes, technology is a very important part of our whole development, but then we do need a proper balance. We need that balance to be able to use the technology to proper use. We shouldn't be, like many youngsters waste so much time on their cell phones or just texting, messages which have no relevance. So we need to educate our younger generation as well on a holistic existence of an individual at the physical level, mental level, and what we call the spiritual level. And when I say spiritual level, it doesn't mean, practicing some religion. Spiritual level means who is that soul within? How does it work inside? So body on its own does nothing. There is a individual sitting inside, and we need to recognize this individual, as I call it, the driver of this body. So who is this driver? What is the driver's personality? And if we are not happy with the driver's personality, then what can we do to reform this personality? So this is the kind of program. So I believe that definitely this PG course will be very popular with the business. And already we are happy that more than 10 participants have already signed for this course. So that shows that how much through our workshops people are able to figure out how practical it is. We are not just, in fact, we haven't taught much asanas, but we have taught them so much processes that are going on in their bodies and about which they are totally unaware. So that's why I think it's a very good course, and I have no worries about it. It will be very well subscribed. Present day people have no time. Like, I was very happy to see this, one participant, a very young lady, and she's a producer herself, and she said, look, I was always in hurry, and, past midnights we are working, and I decided to take a break. And after having spent 4 days, now she wants everybody in her family and in her company to have this exposure. So therefore, people think that they don't have time. It is because they are totally unaware about their own management. They are wanting to find time for their businesses, but it's a pity they can't find time for their own So this message, they have to understand that unless they find time for their own, their business is definitely going to go for a 6 at some point of time, because they would not know when their health just gives up. So therefore, the first point I would like to make is it is in their interest of their business that they are sure that they are in good health and sound health, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. These are different dimensions. And they do not necessarily work on just food and medicines. So one is this. Second, this course will help them understand the time management. Actually, I have myself been in service. As you know, I was in diplomatic service and I was leading a very high-profile job. But I always spent my 2-3 hours for my yoga. And what was the outcome? The outcome was that I was always clear in my mind what I'm going to do. I never had a confused situation where I was not sure whether I will do this or that or that. So if I spend even 30 minutes in the morning and take my time, maybe 10-15 minutes of just a small physical workout, another 5 to 10 minutes of some deep breathing just to get connected, and then another 5-10 minutes, so maximum 30 minutes, and you will find that you will be physically always in good health, mentally you will be alert about everything, and spiritually you will always be balanced. So actually, by spending 30 minutes here, I used to see that I was always with the time. Anybody wanting my time, and I used to say, yes, please come, I'm free. So therefore, it's also a mental attitude. If we make up our mental attitude that I have to find time for this activity, then definitely you will find time. And yoga practice definitely helps us to have this tool where you have time for anything and everything that you want. Time management is in your hand. Time is not managing you, you are managing the time. Whatever I learn in my own personal management, the same principles I can apply for my job. Because exactly the way I'm dealing with myself, the same way I have to deal with the rest of the world. In fact, all religions say, do not do to others what you don't want others to do to you. So through the yoga practice, we learn this very philosophy that who am I, what is my reality, how am I going to benefit by only thinking about me. And if I think about others, what happens to me? And my experience over the 40 years of this practice and what we read from the scriptures is the same, that if I'm helpful to others, there will always be any number of people ready to help me in my time of need. And so therefore, if we learn this art, which means we are helping ourselves, how do we help? By maintaining good health, by maintaining a very calm, quiet, mind and attitude. So if I'm at peace with myself, I can be at peace with everybody else. But if I myself am in pieces, then I will be only making pieces elsewhere also. So therefore, the first thing that we need is that firstly, I should be at ease. I should have a good health, good time. Then only I will be able to help others. So only by helping myself, I'm in a position to help others. If I myself am so tired, so sick, I'm dependent on others, then what can I do for others? Very little. So therefore, this is a very, very good message from Yoga and Ayurveda, that if you can look after yourself, then you will be in a position to look after others.